When it comes to stories of rising stars, no one has it bigger in recent years than Davante Adams. His rise to the top in the NFL, garnering records with the Packers, is unmatched and unforeseen. But how does a two-star recruit go from zero to hero? Find out as we uncover the life of Davante Adams, NFL Rockstar. Early life. Born just shy of Christmas in 1992 and one of 4 siblings, Adams grew up in a rough part of California. Exposed to a lot of crime, leaving him to fend for himself and his sisters, Adams spent most of his childhood with nothing but the guidance of his parents, brought upon the fear of ending up in a bad place that most kids in his neighborhood end up in. Adams attended high school in Palo Alto, home to many well-known athletes. In his stay there, he played not only one but 2 sports. An early established powerhouse, Adams played for the Vikings football team and led it through its CIF state championship with a record of 64 receptions over 1,094 yards and 12 touchdowns. His basketball career, however, demoted his status as he was labeled as a 2-star recruit, with his average coming in at 9 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 5.4 assists throughout his 4 years as a letterman. But clearly, more than a few people spotted his talent and potential because despite the latter numbers, Adams was still offered a position at Fresno State, San Diego State, and even at the University of Hawaii. College career. Adams took the offer at Fresno State and played for the Bulldogs, where he was redshirted for a year in 2011. Shortly after, in the 2012 season, Adams' record would go on to exponentially overshadow his high school one. Quickly rising through the ranks, Adams scored a whopping 2 touchdowns on his collegiate debut, with his receiving yards clocking in at 118. A massive sprint down the 100-yard line, this was only the beginning of his journey. As the 2012 season progressed, so did he. Adams, throughout the months, accumulated an aggressive rise in his receives, with each game tallying up more than the previous one. That redshirt year clearly served its purpose. As Adams drives through the field, he perseveres and coordinates with such awe-inspiring precision that would match any athlete. At the culmination of the year, after his birthday, Adams would garner a staggering 13 receptions for 144 yards and a touchdown in what can only be known as a true Christmas miracle, and was named the 2012 Hawaii Bulls MVP. Continuing down the road to superstar status, Adams' 2013 season topped out the previous year in his opening game with 14 receptions and not 1 but 2 touchdowns. Adams leaves his opponents biting the dust as he races through the touchdown goals with not even a hand on him and receiving from one of the most precarious throws ever to be seen. As he closed his time with Fresno State, Adams didn't leave quietly, but with a bang, permanently etching his skill in Fresno State history with 233 receptions and 38 touchdown receptions, solidifying the proof of his natural talent in the short span of only 2 seasons. He also set a record in the Mountain West Conference with 24 touchdowns in 2013, more than any player in the whole country can ever dream of that year. After setting the standard in Fresno State that year, Adams announced his departure and his next destination, the 2014 NFL Draft. Rough start. Green Bay Packers 2014 to 2015. Adams' transition to the NFL took a lot of grit out of him. During the time, he was fresh out of college and out of his depth. During his first season with the Green Bay Packers, the oddball started as he was picked during the 2nd round. Adams' prior run with the Packers sent him spiraling down, tackled, and ganged up on all of his initial receptions. This was made clear when his first touchdown reception only came in during the 3rd game against the Minnesota Vikings with the aid of Aaron Rodgers and sported a distance of 11 yards. Adams was awarded the off-season MVP in 2015 after dropping out in the 2nd week due to an ankle injury. Even though the Packers' first game against the Bear that year was a success, his receptions didn't even cross the 100-yard line, and in interviews, Adams felt sorry for himself. He knew that he could do better, that he had it in him, and that he owed it to himself to try harder. Teammate Rodgers believed so too, stating in an interview Adams was a talented guy, that he had potential, and that he could do a lot of things in the field. Faced with the picture of what he could be, Adams dug deeper than he could and poured his heart out in the next season. Breakout season, 2016 to 2018. Adams would return in 2016 with a vengeance. Alongside Rodgers, he had set all-time career records once again, landing among his older numbers in college and high school with 12 touchdowns and only 3 yards short of 1,000. The 2017 season was plagued by injuries, and Adams was not exempt from these shocking events. In the game against the Bears, Adams was viciously tackled and hit on the head so hard that it effectively knocked him out for a little while. Despite that encounter, the Packers still emerged victorious with an impressive 35-14 score. Getting hit in the head like that could not have been fun. And though hitting the like button is a matter of favor, and not doing so is your right, the editor works tirelessly day and night on this creation, and a little appreciation goes a long way. Thank you very much. While one would think that Adams had reached the pinnacle of his year, like his collegiate performance, he continues to transcend expectations, finishing off 2018 with over 100 receptions, spanning 1,386 yards, and a one-up on touchdowns compared to the previous year. He earned elite receiver status as he took his first Pro Bowl selection in 2017. Peak performance and records, 2019 to 2021. Despite entering the 2019 season with an injury early on, Adams left it setting the record for being the only Packer to ever have receiving yards over 100 in a single postseason, followed by 3 postseason games with receiving yards over 125. As the NFL entered the new decade, so did Adams, packing the heat with Rodgers, as their chemistry became unparalleled. It caused Adams to rack up records, including his 500th career catch on a 12-yard touchdown, cementing himself in Packers history as the 5th Packer in history to have achieved such a feat. Towards the end of the 2020 season, he created history by finishing with 115 receptions and 1,374 receiving yards, effectively beating out records like Sharp's in 1993 and Moss's in 2007. It seemed that there was no stopping Adams, and as 2021 opened, he continued stacking records, beginning with his 206-yard on 11 receptions, jaw-droppingly executed in his game against the Bengals. And at the end of 2021, he broke the Packer record of receiving yards in a single season with an astounding 1,553 yards. Impact, departure, and legacy. When it came to a roaring display of athleticism, nobody raced their way to people's heads faster than Davante Adams. His consistent determination has even cost his body at other times. But it didn't matter how injured he got. He loved the sport, and the way he moved on the field proved that more than anything. But even with all the stats that he had amassed over the years, nothing came close to the inspiration that he had provoked in young athletes everywhere, no matter the background. His clutch catches and leveraging games proved that no matter what was put in front of you, you needed to have the strength to run at the touchdown line no matter what. But all good things come to an end eventually, and after 8 seasons, so did Adams' run in the Green Bay Packers. In 2022, he was subsequently traded to the Las Vegas Raiders, and although he no longer plays for the Packers, his performance echoes throughout its history, etching his name as one of the greatest receivers in franchise history. Adams may have reached his end with the Green Bay Packers, but now finds a new home with the Las Vegas Raiders, saying that he likes being close to his family as well. Do you think he's performed just as well as he did for his old team? What do you think of Davante Adams' inspiring story? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to SportsL for more awesome sports stories. Until next time, let's keep enjoying the game!